For this loop, I've chosen to go with a parallel configuration. Parallel is basically when you have the liquid flowing through two devices or two medium at the same time. So it's flowing through both my GPU and CPU blocks simultaneously. More traditional methods would be a series where it's going to flow fully through one block before the next. But in my experience, the temperature differences are either none or negligible. It's just that parallel looks a lot nicer. It just looks, honestly, it's just a lot more aesthetically pleasing. For my temperature readouts in my setup, the ambient environmental temperature is going to be around 21 to 22 degrees centigrade. CPU temperatures while rendering and taxing the processor is about 65 degrees centigrade. GPU temperature while gaming is usually going to be somewhere between 35 to 40 degree centigrade. Here I just wanted to get a shot of the liquid flowing through both of the blocks. It's hard to see with the CPU block, but you can definitely see it flowing through the GPU block. Even in a parallel configuration, it's really not going to hinder the flow at all. The D5 pump that I'm running is set to the third speed step of 5 potential steps. Here what I'm doing is I'm adding the dye mix. Now I've already done my leak testing. I leak test with just distilled water. Once everything checks out, then I'll drain all the distilled water and then I'll add my coolant. The coolant that I'm running is the Mayhem UV Pastel, and the dye mix is basically just blue dye from Mayhem. I mixed it with a little bit of distilled water and I'm pouring that in now. In a few seconds I'll actually put a little bit more drops in just to bring out the blue color a little bit, but the D5 pump is doing a really good job of moving that liquid around to kind of disperse that blue. So you see here and coming up shortly that the blue will be pretty vivid and all throughout the loop. Also, you can see in the background that little kitty Murphy is my water cooling buddy for this particular build. She likes to sit on her perch and just kind of watch me work. Here I'm going to top it off with just a little bit of distilled water. I'll let it run a little bit just to get the blue dye kind of fully through the loop, but it's pretty much good for power and booting it up right now. I'm going to finish out this video with just a few kind of finished pictures of my loop and my current setup.